There are two settings in your Lumix camera that'll turn any Panasonic zoom lens into an even longer zoom lens than it actually is. And those are crop zoom and hybrid zoom. The zoom lens that I have on here right now is a 24 to 60. Back into the menu, you'll find hybrid zoom and crop zoom. Let's start with crop. If I push that up arrow, I'm actually cropping into the sensor. As discussed in the image area of video, the Lumix camera allows you to crop into the sensor, not going past 1:1, allowing you to get more focal length out of a lens. Well, that's exactly what this is doing here. It's just doing it with this rocker instead of having to change it from full frame to APS-C crop. So by moving the arrow up and down, I'm essentially cropping into the sensor. If I push left or right on the rocker, it'll zoom all the way out or all the way back in. And if I go into the settings, I can actually change the speed at which that zooms. But going into this menu each time to make a change is definitely a bit tedious. So what you want is something on screen that you can call up at any time and drag it up and down to do the crop. And you can do that by going into the gear menu, then to operation and touch settings, and enabling the touch tab. Once the touch tab is enabled, I can now zoom in and out by simply dragging my finger up and down on the LCD. The more interesting version of this, however, is hybrid zoom. Hybrid zoom does the same thing that crop zoom does, except that it handles it automatically. As you rotate the zoom lens, it gradually crops in, giving you a consistent crop from its widest field of view to its tightest plus the crop. I'm going to turn this on and zoom all the way back out. And again, you see here, we're starting at 24 millimeters. As I zoom in, it just seamlessly zooms all the way to 93. But again, this is a 24 to 60 millimeter lens. So we've just gained from 60 to 93 millimeters. Now I'm in 4K mode, but if I go to HD, the gain is even greater. Check this out. I'm going to switch my video recording mode to HD. Now that I'm in HD, I can go from 24 millimeters all the way to 187. If you're shooting with the S1RII Mark II, the super high resolution sensor, the gain is even more. Now you might be thinking, I don't want it to crop all the time. I want it to use the full sensor width until it kind of has to. There's an option for that too. Under the hybrid zoom settings, you can choose whether you want the effect to happen at the wide angle or not. Essentially, if it's off, then the crop zoom doesn't start until you've zoomed in a little bit. So your widest angle views are always using all of the glass. This is the kind of setting that if you're going to use it often, you don't want to be digging into the menus for. So I definitely recommend assigning it to a function button. And I've already done a video in this short series about how to program the buttons on your camera. And I've done a dedicated video on this lens where you can program the function button on the lens to enable crop or hybrid zoom, and then use the focus ring to control the crop zoom. Pretty cool.